Experts note the use of non-disclosure agreements in government and the public's business is a violation of the First Amendment. It restricts free speech and the freedom of the press. Now, one California lawmaker is taking a third shot at trying to limit them in California's government.
Right now just raises a lot of questions to what is being kept secret.
Assemblyman Joe Patterson is trying once again to prohibit California lawmakers from signing non-disclosure agreements when they use your tax dollars. His bill would specifically update California's Political Reform Act to keep lawmakers from either signing them or asking anyone to sign them when they put together public policy or projects.
If you're a lawmaker, if you're an elected official, you need to be transparent with the public. You shouldn't be signing agreements that gives the public's right away to know what's happening on their dime.
Every employee working on the project was required to sign this.
Patterson's bill comes months after we aired this story on the construction of a new $1.2 billion office building for lawmakers behind the Capitol. We found 2,000 people, including 5 state lawmakers and dozens of government officials, signed NDAs to keep details of the project secret. It's been years since Democratic leaders gave an update on the construction.
It's a secret from me, too, and I'm elected by my constituents to know these things. Well, how is the public's interest served in keeping secret the construction of a state building? It makes no sense to me.
Meanwhile, adjunct McGeorge School of Law professor and longtime lobbyist Chris McCaley notes it's legal.
There's nothing in today's state law that prohibits a legislator or other elected official from signing a non-disclosure agreement.
Would you try to defend an NDA in court or go after anyone who were to breach an NDA for the Capitol Annex project?
Last month, I asked California's Attorney General Rob Bonta about his role in this.
We may have a client in a scenario that you're referencing, and in those situations we are the agent, we are the attorney, they are the principal. We will represent them ethically and lawfully in that role. So don't want to get ahead of any of my clients. If folks want to change the law because they don't like what the law allows for, that's an appropriate place for policy debate and maybe change.
Now, last year, with the first 2 attempts to limit the use of non-disclosure agreements in California's public policy-making process, Democratic leaders blocked those bills. Reporting at the state capitol, Ashley Zavala, KCRA 3 News.
Well, another state is considering a similar move. Yesterday, Michigan's House of Representatives overwhelmingly passing a bipartisan legislation to prohibit NDAs. The state's Democratic Governor Gretchen Whitmer has defended the use of NDAs in the past.